Anyways, where did we get off? As women and comedy people, does your website have boobs? No.
Actually, yes.
Does the do you guys like? It's like, do you have to have conversations where you tally like? I'm trying to figure out, like I want to talk about the comedic aspect of it, where comedy becomes industry, where it becomes like kind of where you have to talk about shit that's not coming from just the thing you naturally want to do. Are you guys just following your bliss every time someone moves to write something, or is there some kind of like restraint or guidance being put on it, is what I was trying to get at before?
There's a lot of restraint.
Yeah, I mean, we follow our bliss to a point where the idea actually has to be clear and readable, so that when you're scanning through Facebook or Twitter, you're like, I get that.
So you have to have conversations like, well, what's the joke here?
Yeah,
and if it's the same as the joke in the last thing, then okay, let's come up with a different thing. Or
yeah, we gotta like rein in our bliss. Our bliss can't go that far.
What you haven't run, if there's headlines that you've turned down, because you have so many. Your bylines are hilarious. And is there anything that you've ever been like, that's too fucked up?
All the time.
Well, sometimes there's jokes that really appeal to us as feminists that are sort of like laughing at ourselves as feminists, but then we're like, what will the opposition do when they get a hold of this sort of thing? And we're like, we can't put this out there because it's just a lot of like MRA trolls will see our articles as real, as written by real women, and obviously they hate women. So every article we write is an example of how women are dumb and terrible because we're satirizing women's media.
Yeah, like one article we put out a couple months back, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Alaska. People thought it was real and made a call to get the writer fired. Right. And someone wrote an open letter.
I'm sorry. They went through. Them taking it seriously is one thing, like that I've seen with the Onion, the like people that take the Onion thing. But that blows my mind. The idea of like get her fired because then reductors will be all cleaned up for me. But it's really just about punishing this woman from. So like, you should fire her from. It's like trying to. It's like imagine trying to get someone fired from the Ku Klux Klan. Like it's like if you you're
sure
like,
it happens.
Well,
show up dirty.
Right.
Someone wrote like 1,000-word blog post just to articulate the fact that Alaska is in the United States.
Yeah.
Like they're like
that was his sex robot moment. Like he really felt superior to this fictional writer.
So if everybody's just dumb, now this is just broadening out into like, okay.
I think we all agree, yeah.
Like dumb. Most people are dumb. The average IQ is 100. America has perhaps heroically, perhaps villainously spent its time on top, reallocating assets slowly from the future educated children. Like we've been focusing on dumbness, like we're like in horse sense. We're like, oh, we're cowboys and we're gonna rustle the doggies of the world, and like who needs to care if evolution is real in order for that to happen? You just need a lasso and a bomb, and so if it's like I guess like as young comedy people who have no choice but to be thinking about a wish for the world, because you're not jaded, nihilistic troll people who are just going like, fuck you, you're stupid, the world is stupid. Do you guys like, is there a goal? Are we supposed to just make dumb people smart with comedy? Are we supposed to just like try to avoid getting shot? Are we supposed to like shift things so that 60 years from now in a world we don't get to participate in, things are better? Am I overreacting to?
I think we have to like dumb down our message for them in a way, because like
simplify. We need to simplify.
Like speaking to your point of like taking Trump down at all costs, like similar to George Bush, in 10 years, all these people are going to pretend that they hated Trump and they're going to pretend they didn't vote for him. So like my goal is not to take down Donald Trump and convince them he has a tiny penis. Like the goal, I think, is to like shift their focus and be like, hey, like, healthcare is good. Black people deserve to live. Like, just, like, focus.
Hilarious.
Wait, slow down. Slow down. Let's take it one step at a time.
And what's like if you give us comedy tips if I'm a satirical journalist and I'm like, I want to do a bit, like, because you can see it misfiring a lot. People think that satire means a lot of times just pretty much non-ironic kind of like sarcasm, which creates a sarcasm between that you're trying to. But like, there's a real art to like leading people around to an absurd thought that forces them to realize something like black people deserve healthcare. But you don't do it by typing an article that says, black people don't deserve healthcare. Get it? I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. My question is do you have any like little like a fundamental philosophical kind of tip, like where I'm trying to think of an example from another field where it's like, if a welder were to say, or if a football quarterback were to say, follow through, like, or, you know, just some simple thing that when it comes to like parody and stuff, where you're actually hoping that the end result will be somebody laughing, and then also like looking at themselves, is there like a kind of guiding principle that separates the craftsman from the non-crafts people?
I mean, this might seem really obvious saying it out loud, but that your headline actually says what you are trying to say. Like, if you're like, okay, what's the joke of this piece? And you're like, well, I think it's this. And if that's not actually reflected in the headline, then like, you wouldn't believe how many times that happens. It's just...
Is that wait? I'm not sure if you're citing if either give me an example or clarify more, because I'm not sure if you're... Sorry.
I just opened a Pandora's box. I don't know.
It's when the headline is super funny, it's a joke, but it doesn't relate to any of the article. The article can't back it up. So you sort of lose steam. So do
you mean the headline kind of encapsulates the whole bit right there, right? Or do you, but I thought you might have been saying, like, actually the headline shouldn't even be ironic, or it should be...
I don't know.
No, the whole joke is there in the headline. There's no, like, buried lead, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, what you're agreeing to click on is what you're going to get in that article, unlike a lot of mainstream journalism, which currently is like, what will people click on in this headline? Let's pick one random phrase from this article.
How much when you guys write something that's like obviously satirical or parodic, that are you writing and hoping, because like satire is not for everybody, and people don't know that, like, you're joking when you say I'm moving to Alaska. That's the whole joke is in the headline there. Like that's all there. Are you writing for what percent are you hoping that stupid people bite on that and write crazy blog posts and are inflamed by that? Or are you hoping that everybody gets the joke and it's hilarious across the board?
We never write for the dum-dums. No, we're not trying to change anyone's mind. We're
usually trying to guilt and shame the well-intentioned liberals who are not actually fixing the problem at hand. So like, we'll do things like these headlines.
I love that. So you mean all of San Francisco?
Like, we'll do a headline that's like, these headlines about Black Lives Matter are breaking my heart as I scroll past them. Or something, you know? And it just sort of is like, a lot of them are like, hey, white women, you're not helping. You know?
Right.
So,
or like, funny. I can't believe this country is so racist, says employee of all-white startup. Like, and I mean, like, I think even that one was a tweak where we try to avoid making... talking about like, oh, big rich white man, because I think like anyone in this room can like point at a white rich CEO and be like, that guy sucks. We try to kind of get it a little more specific, and that specificity kind of makes us all turn inward and look at ourselves a little bit more.
We all have a little rich white man inside of us.
We do. That's
and so to alienate that guy is just not profitable.
I have one every night.
Richer the better.
His name is Dan Harmon.
I actually do. As a side note, when you guys do encounter that thing where it's like somebody, even as individuals or as reductress, but like I know when you encounter the situation where you accidentally snared somebody, like you're like just doing something that was like ironic, and somebody does go, that makes you feel bad, doesn't it? Or not to lead you, but it makes me feel bad. Like it makes me feel like I fucked up or something.
Sometimes it's like too true for people, and you're like, I don't know, like, did I want to hurt this person?
I love that some dude is sitting in his apartment like, why you pick on me? You know I'm dumb.
I kind of feel that way sometimes. I feel like we've come as close as we've ever come in this last election, where like a lot of people are saying like, oh, well, in a world where some of us experience shame for not being society's ideal of beautiful, that some people are saying, and this is not my speech about we ignored the Rust Belt. Fuck it. Fuck them. I'm from Wisconsin. Fuck that part of me. I'm just saying like that I've had conversations with who I thought were smart friends of mine that like were like, yeah, but it's rather him than Hillary, and like you go down this road, and like you always come down to this like little channel that's filled with like little rats and bits of newspaper, and but there's like this fundamental, almost chagrining honesty about how it's an anti-intellectual revolution. That all of this, like, that shaming people about punctuation and not understanding the world and things like that's like that. What is my point? It's only an observation. It's not about, we didn't do fucking shit wrong. We're good people. I'm not saying that at all. That's not my thesis. I think it's an interesting observation that we've come as close as we ever have in our life, of a group of Americans saying like, I've been feeling dumb because I'm dumb for a long time, and I was just hoping maybe dumb people could be in control. And like they dressed that up when with the Bush thing. They used to dress that up, and that they're getting closer and closer to just going dumb, 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 dumb.
I read this article that was pretty interesting. That was about how the Trump election is kind of similar to insane clown posse followers, the Juggalos. Where they've created this community that basically exists to say fuck you to anything that would say fuck you to my community.
Right.
And so in so doing, they've kind of created this armor where it's like anything can be used to then justify their own means, because their whole premise was just out of anger and resentment of just almost the same kind of things that we have anger and resentment for, but just other things too.
It's almost as if the municipal communities, places in port cities, places, the nerve centers of the giant animal called the country, that are often dismissed and don't have electoral power because they're city slickers, like, they're folded over on themselves 8 times, which is the maximum. And so they're all in contact with each other in a big sandwich. So even if they do have a low IQ, they have a snobbishness to them when it comes to what you say to an Indian man when you meet him at the deli. And then you're in these other states where the electoral power is so high. And the positive way of looking at it isn't so much like, oh, they're trying to take over. They wish that the whole country was a cattle ranch or a welding factory where you make welding. That what they're actually saying is, oh, first fold. Weird. we're on the 8th fold, and they're like, it's weird to be folded. Because the internet folded them, so they're having their first experiences with things that you learn if you go to college. In a big city, if you go from the Midwest to the nearest big city, and you as you follow that path, if I could just show you Albert Brooks defending your life montage of how dumb I've been, and how the dumb things, and it didn't stop 5 minutes ago in the green room. I'm just like meeting you guys. I'm just babbling. I'm just like trying to prove I'm a good person. It's like, you imagine like the shame of being just a dumb shit. Just a big dumb shit bucket eating fucking moron from a fucking town full of 800 fucking idiot.
He eats the shit bucket. He doesn't even eat the shit. He eats the whole bucket.
there's a shame there. I think shame's like our biggest problem. Like,
I think it's white fragility and male fragility in a nutshell, because it's like when you tell someone like, hey, the thing you guys always do hurts me as a person, they experience a tiny fraction of that pain. They're like, oh, I hurt someone.
Well, the part that I just heard was the thing you guys always do. And I was like processing I was like, fuck you, while you're telling me that it hurts you.
But like in a lot of instances, you're like, hey, the thing you do kills us. And then they're like, that hurts our feelings for you to say that. You know, and you're like, but on our side, that's a little bit bigger.
A microcosm of every relationship, where because I just had one tonight where it's like I didn't have a fight with my girlfriend, but we had a thing. It's like we love each other so much that any turbulence causes a conversation of, like if someone were to express a need, if someone were to say, "Oh, I'm dissatisfied in this area." When I hear that, unless I'm fucking on point and sober and ready for anything and have just finished breathing 4 times, taking 4-second breaths, and have a big mouthful of peanut butter and I got a sheep on my dick, I don't know what my ideal. I'm in a hammock, like whatever the ideal is. Like unless those ideal situations are met, I'm bound to hear your dissatisfaction as I fucked up. Now, like, it's easy to, when you look back on it after your autonomic system, like, cools down, we always look back and go, oh, that person told me I fucked up. Like, and wow, they must really give a fuck. Like to tell me that. And also, my ability to say I fucked up is actually, like, pretty cool, sexy, alpha. But in that moment, you're like, I'm always like, I didn't fuck up. Like you should know, well, okay, maybe I did fuck up, but that definitely pales in comparison to your fuck ups. Like even just telling me I fucked up is kind of a fuck up if you think about it. There's just this like scramble, and it's a panic that is equivalent to when you're drowning. It's fight or flight. And there's something romantic about that, because when you're feeling fight or flight, don't shake your head, Brandon. At the heart of it all is like why would you panic? It's like if you watch like a war movie about Nazis, like they're herding people into a camp, there's not a ton of like, ow, my shoes hurt. What the fuck are you saying that for? I'm a fucking good Nazi. They're like not hearing them and not looking at them as humans, and there is a place you can get to where hatred and privilege and all of the things that we're struggling with, like, get to a place where it's like, holy shit, it's really bad. And right now, for it to be in a place of people freaking out all the time, like that, the fact that the internet is a goddamn fucking like cesspool is because like we're getting hurt by each other, and half of us, or 20% of us, or whatever, are getting hurt by the idea that we've been doing it wrong the whole time, and we're just trying to make you happy. Yes. This was my world I made for you, ladies.
I think a lot of us have an impulse to be like, hey, I didn't mean to do that, and we really want to prove it to them, but it's like,
I didn't mean for you to call me a slut. I just wanted you to know I wanted maybe fair wages.
I think the fact that someone would bring the point up to you, like, is them knowing that you didn't mean to. Like, they already know that. So we get caught in this trap of trying to prove to them that, like, we're a good person who wouldn't intentionally hurt them, and it's like, that's beside the point to them. They're just trying to tell you to stop doing it.
And it's hard because every human being shares this, I think, primatological. There is a surf curl or a wind that gets in your sail. The moment when it's self-righteousness, or just not even self-righteousness, that sounds pejorative. Righteousness, when you truly are right. It's not fabricated. You are right. Like, that's when a lot of us break down. My heroes are the people that have changed me, are people who have been right and have taken mercy on me and been like, hey man, like you should know you're wrong and I'm right, but like that they like come in somehow lower. And I don't know. I don't even know how they did it, but like I've had these experiences where I'm like, I would have just argued about this shit and like been this way if it weren't for this one person, this anonymous person on Twitter or in some flame war that was like, it's 9/11, everybody. Anyways, but yeah, it's a dangerous mechanism in all of us that we I think when we feel correct, when we feel right, there's like a Newtonian law there that like puffs us up more, and then it creates this syndrome, because when you feel wrong, you have a defensive reaction, and then when you feel right, you have an aggressive reaction. Maybe that's me describing men. I don't think so, though.
I have a theory now that we've all been emotionally abused by probably our parents or someone along
I like
the way.
that theory.
And then our coping mechanism going forward is like, it's either fight or flight. So in certain situations, we just become the abuser because we're like, I'm the right one here. You know, it's a way of taking control.
I think in chaotic households, which should describe 100% of households, even if you think you lived in a beaver cleaver like household, I think you're a kid, so it's chaotic. I do think it's like you have these like tyrants who are going to say, because I said so, and they're going to be like, and I think the moments that dopamine spike us and evolve us are the moments we stand up to them and prove them wrong. I at least I should just speak for myself. I mean, that was my household. It was like, I didn't learn that the more I could roll over, the more freedom I got at all. Like my curfews got extended by fucking monologues. Like my posture improved like it was like all my leveling up had to do with like the moment I finally lost my shit and fucking like proved someone wrong, emulating the weapons they would use against me, which were like yelling and shaming and toxifying and all that stuff. And that's what we're all up against, is because our whole species is descended from one big dysfunctional family that was reproductively successful. Like we don't give ourselves enough credit biologically for being primates that grew up in God's crosshairs and yet beat the fuck out of giraffes and ants. We're going to the fucking outer space, and when we do, if you were a good giraffe you can come with, we'll think about it. It was not a good solution to grow a longer neck because you couldn't reach leaves. That's dumb. You thought you nailed it. You would have fucking eaten us if you had evolved past that. You would have fucking eaten us. We're eating you. You don't even taste good. You're all neck. And you can't talk. Famous for their necks, can't talk.
You hate giraffes so much.
Somewhere along the line where I'm growing a longer neck, maybe I should add some larynxes. So I could say, hey, anyone have any ideas about how to build a ladder? It's laziness. My point is, we don't earn this through our choices every day.
Have you ever met a giraffe? Have you ever been in the company of one?
Don't interrupt me. It irritates me. We didn't earn any of this, but it also is recognizable. Like as a species, we fucking like. We are the biggest success on the planet until you get to the part where we're so successful that the planet may then fail. But like as individual human beings, then we don't. I had it. I fucking had it. I had the meaning of life right in my fucking hand. God damn it.
I want my tail back if we're so successful.
We lost tails because we got so big and fat because we were like fucking nailing it. We used to be like squirrels. I mean, if you back us up all the way to assuming we all came from one amoeba, we represent the part of that amoeba's family that was like, peace. Like, we're awesome. See, and all the other fucking amoeba siblings are like, no, I think I'll be an amoeba that grows a amoeba shirt. And we were like, I think I'll be a fucking monkey.
And they're like, you think you're better than me now?
I don't want the tail. Amoeba. I don't want the tail. I want that toe thumb where you can fucking grab onto shit with your foot.
Yeah, and super strength.
Yeah, fucking, yeah.
Remember that shit?
You can just fucking hang out upside down and be like, I'm fine like this.
Oh, yeah, we had one. Here's what it doesn't protect you from. Your cousins becoming nuclear capable. Sorry, toe thumb.
Why are those mutually
I've got-
exclusive? Why can't I be good at nuclear physics and also have a toe thumb?
Turns out you can't. If we don't blow ourselves up, we may get to a point where we can upload our consciousness into a simulation of having toe thumbs. Like we're almost there. We just got a couple more little conniption fits to get through. God, I swear to God, I had a fucking point. I was gonna stitch the giraffe thing to a thing. It was gonna blow your mind.
You're mad about giraffes because they got it wrong and they should have had a ladder?
Yeah, and why? I know that.
No, he's
that
right
part,
about the latter part. That part was great.
No, what I was saying before that was I was harping about something, and I was like then I got off on this thing that I've said 1,000 times, but I was like, all right. So
We should build a wall.
we should build a wall. Did you see the photo of the guy, and that's the wall? All right. Anyways,
You're gonna want those giraffes on the wall when the wall happens, man. Because you're gonna need someone to fucking see what's going on the other side. You're gonna fucking eat your fucking words about giraffes.
You remember Gladiator? They have a shot where you can see your giraffes being loaded into the Coliseum's loading dock, but they don't have the scene where people are killing giraffes, which is what they used to do because they were like, holy shit, look at these monsters with long necks. We should have 8 of them fight Doug. And Doug would be like, yeah! And the giraffes would be like, are you fucking kidding me? I got a long neck here. I did everything I'm supposed to do. I'm not a horse, for God's sake. I got a long neck. And we're like, we have bronze. You're dead. And it's not fair to you.
A giraffe will fuck you up and kick you. They'll fucking whap you with their head. They don't fuck about. You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight a zebra. A zebra will fucking get you.
Look, everything will get me. A giraffe would kick my ass. I'm not a gladiator.
I wouldn't want to be in a ring with a giraffe, even with a sword. I would like that. He's gonna walk on your face.
I don't. What do you want to be in a ring with a sword with?
Crocodile.
Just say if you had said female or feminist parody news site editors.
Why would I say that?
Because our podcast would have taken a huge turn for clicks. It would have been amazing.
If I said I wanted to kill feminists,
would have gotten you a wooden sword. We would have gone into it. It would have been a huge charity event.